So, welcome once again. We were on page 13. So let's go back to the heading on page 11. Where it says soul. What is the use of getting the entire world if one loses his soul? So so as to re-emphasize the importance of what Master has quoted here. This is not Master's words. He has quoted from the Bible. So, getting the whole world, in Hindi we say, दुनिया से जीते खुद से हारे ये क्या फायदा हुआ? So, what's the point of gaining the whole world if you lose yourself? Now, what does it mean to lose yourself? It means that you get lost in the material world and you forget that, you are the soul and the purpose of your life is to develop the soul. If you miss out on that, that means, you are kind of lost. Right? So we get stuck in our bodies, the physical body. So we want, of course, health is important, physical health is important, but also, we want comforts and luxuries and so on. We also, even emotionally, we get stuck in the emotions, where we chase greed, we become greedy. There's pride. In Hindi there is a word ahamkar, which basically, we can think of as false ego. So we get caught up or stuck, है ना, उस सब में अटक जाते हैं. तो ये दिस इज वेयर इट मीन्स दैट यू लूज योर सोल. Lose your soul means you lose your connection. I mean, you are the soul, but it's, if you lose the connection with the higher soul, that would be the meaning of lose your soul. Yeah. And we had done the first two sutras on page 13. Let's go on to the third sutra. Let's do the third and fourth sutras together. Sutra number 3. I'm on page 13. Your spiritual development depends on your ability to forgive others. Your ability to fly in the inner world depends on inner forgiveness. So here now Master is talking about the importance of forgiveness. I think we are all aware. I mean, honestly, I have only learned about forgiveness as a process or as a practice when I got into pranic healing, when I came in touch with Master Chua's teachings. Right? Maybe some of you had, were aware of it as a systematic way even earlier. But personally, I only understood when I got into pranic healing in Master Chua's school. So here, what Master is reminding us is that the benefits of forgiveness are at multiple levels. Because if we don't forgive, for example, one of the benefits, if we don't forgive, what do we have? We have resentment. I don't know if you remember, I was singing this song from an Amitabh Bachchan movie, Dil mein chupaye rakha, shole dabaye rakha. Right? So what happens is, when you don't forgive, of course he's talking about love in that movie, but it applies as well to resentment. Rosh, in Hindi we call it rosh. When you are seething with anger inside, maybe you don't show it, but you are inside, that fire is burning, that ember, that burning coal or burning ember is there, and you keep it hidden. So what happens is that it affects your mental, emotional, and even physical health. Right? Now, beyond that, Master says even your spiritual development depends on it. So your ability to forgive is also related to your spiritual development. And how? Master says in the next sutra, your ability to fly in the inner world. Now, what does it mean to fly in the inner world? Are you going to develop wings and fly? It just means your consciousness to rise in the inner world. That ability uh, will depend on your ability to forgive. Why? Because these resentments, they are, your anger, your resentment, your desire to take revenge or whatever, that those are heavy energies. Those energies are very heavy. they will pull you down, they will weigh you down, है ना. जैसे वजन आप लगा लेंगे तो आप ज्यादा उछल नहीं पाएंगे. Maybe when if you try to jump, you can jump 1 foot from the ground, but if you put on a lot of weights, then you will barely be able to do 2 or 3 inches. So that is what will happen. These are like weights, they will pull you down. You will not be, you're doing meditation, but you're not having those experiences. Your consciousness is really not rising much, even when you're doing very diligently, you're doing, because those resentments are holding you down. They are weights, they are pulling you down. All right, let's move forward. If there's anything you would like to add or talk about or question, please feel free. Just unmute yourself or put up a thumb and we can do that. Or just put a chat message. Yes, those feelings hurt in the heart and solar plexus. Very good. Very well said. If you want to experience the divinity within you, the divinity in others, you must be calm internally. You must be still. Now, again, very sort of powerful teaching by Master. You see, when we are caught up in negative emotions, our astral body, if a clairvoyant sees it, he sees like a storm. जैसे तूफान आ जाता है, वैसे it starts whirling. You may be aware, emotional body is full of vortices. Vortices, what is the right word? जो okay, please look up vortices, on the net. But essentially, have you seen in a sink when water goes down, it rotates and then it gets pulled out. That is what is happening in your emotional body. Each emotion, especially negative emotions, strong emotions, they are like vortices. तो ये जब आप कोई when you are caught up in some strong negative emotion, your emotional body is in a storm. And I have talked about this book earlier, Man Visible Invisible by Charles Leadbeater. In that, he was a great clairvoyant. He has actually given images that when you are quiet, what happens, when this happens, what happens, what your aura looks like, what your astral body looks like, what your mental body looks like, what your causal body looks like. My request is, please obtain that book and look at the images there. Now, what happens when the astral body is in a stormy condition? जब उसमें तूफान आता है, you are unable to perceive accurately. You see, your perception happens through all the bodies. Whatever the reality is outside, it is coming to you, the soul, through the bodies. If the bodies are in storm, you are unable to see through clearly. You are unable to think clearly because your mental body also gets disturbed. So inner calmness is very necessary because that is what is required for mental clarity. It allows you to perceive accurately. Accurate perception, correct expression, वो तभी possible है when your emotions are calm. Now, when you want to experience the divinity within yourself or even within others, if your emotional body is in stormy condition, not possible. No perception, no proper perception. So that is I think what Master is talking about over here. Let's change the page 14. The physical age doesn't really matter. The person may occupy an old body, but the soul may still be very, very young. The person may occupy a young body, but the soul may be very, very old. Don't be deceived by appearance. So you can see, I think you may have seen already in your life that some people who are elderly, still they show a lot of immaturity, childish behavior. Whereas some children, even at a young age, they show a lot of maturity. They are very mature. So what Master is telling us is, don't look at the body. The soul may be old in a young body. The soul may be young in an old body. So don't be deceived by the appearance. What does it mean, young soul? Young soul means not enough life experiences, not enough lifetimes. आपको मालूम है ना, we are reincarnated. We are not just here once. We are here again and again and again. Reincarnation. So this young soul means not gone through enough reincarnations, not gathered enough experiences, not learned many lessons. So therefore likely to make mistakes. You know that with that young soul, the domination is of the bodies. So such a young soul, you will see, they will seek excitement, they will seek thrills. They will seek momentary pleasures, and from moment to moment, they want new pleasure, new thrill, new, something new like that. I don't know if you have come across people like that, elderly people also, who are still seeking thrills, still seeking excitement, still, pursuing momentary pleasures. So that is what Master is talking about over here. Shall we move forward? Challenges. This is a new section. You will be tested again and again until the lesson has been learned. Just please remember, or let's just recall, this Golden Lotus Sutra book. This is about how to live life properly. You see, you buy any equipment, maybe you buy a phone, maybe you have a washing machine, maybe you have a microwave oven, you have this, you have that. Any equipment you buy, it comes with a manual, or rather, it used to come with a manual. Now it just comes with a link. They say for instructions, go to this YouTube video, and we have given all the instructions there. I don't know if you have come across that. But today, so to use any equipment properly, you need instructions, you need a manual or some sort of tutorials or some sort of instructions. But what about life? The most important thing in our life is our life. And where is the manual for that? Where are the instructions for that? How to live life properly? So that is where the guru comes in. That is the role of the guru. हम जो गुरु की वैल्यू है वो यही है कि वो हमें इंस्ट्रक्शंस देते हैं. ही टीचेस अस हाउ टू लिव लाइफ, एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ दिस गोल्डन लोटस सूत्र. नाउ when somebody makes a manual on how to live life, what is the importance of how to deal with problems? That is the section we have come to now. Challenges, problems, obstacles, difficulties. How to deal with them, how to understand them, how to approach them. So this, according to me, is the most important section of this most important book. So please pay attention and let us, help each other understand this properly. You see, why difficulties or problems or challenges, dealing with them is very important. Because you remember one or two sessions ago, I had talked about that this whole concept of why a good life is where we bring in the and. We live life according to and. You remember this? I don't know if anybody remembers this. Normal, ordinary people are living life with or. Either I can be spiritual or I can be material. Either I can be moral or I can be successful. Either I can be ethical or I can be prosperous, right? But the proper way of living life is where you live it with the awareness, this consciousness that you are the soul, not the bodies. And the purpose of life is to evolve. So, how to deal with problems without compromising on that, without letting go of that awareness? You see, otherwise, without these instructions, it is very easy to descend into the I am body consciousness. आप समझ रहे हैं, मतलब जब समस्या आती है तो बहुत आसानी से हम ये भूल जाते हैं कि हम आत्मा है. वी इजीली फॉरगेट दैट वी आर द सोल, and we start taking shortcuts. We adopt things that may be improper or unethical or immoral, and then the stick of karma hits us. So that is why this section, according to me, is very important, because here master will tell us how to deal with problems, still maintaining the and approach, still maintaining the I am the soul consciousness. All right. Okay, let's move on. Page 17, starting from the top. If you are not exposed to the vicissitudes of life, it is not good. The meaning of the word vicissitudes, it means the ups and downs of life. Life is never straight line, it is always ups and downs. So if you are not exposed to the ups and downs or good and bad situations of life, it is not good. It is like not being exposed to germs. You have no immunity, you have no inner strength. So the point here, I think Master is trying to tell us is do not run away from problems. Do not avoid challenges. You see, always with a challenge, we may have an option to bypass it, to just ignore it. समझ पा रहे हैं आप? You think of any challenge, broadly, you can say, I can find a way to bypass that. Yeah? So, but what Master is saying is that that is not a that's not right. It is not good. By facing, how our immunity is built up because the body learns to deal with germs and viruses and bacteria. So similarly, our inner strength, the word Master uses here is you have no inner strength. How does inner strength come up? This is what is inner strength? It is our emotional, mental toughness, our emotional muscles, our mental muscles. And how are these muscles strengthened? ये कैसे तगड़ी होती है? When we face problems, when we solve problems, when we deal with difficult situations. Now, difficult situations can be in relationship, for example, or it can be in business, or it can be in, just about anything. Couple of weeks back, I was little careless and I suffered Kundalini syndrome. So now I have a better understanding of Kundalini syndrome because I went through it, I dealt with it, and hopefully now I will be very, very careful about not incurring it again because it was quite painful. You are aware of Kundalini syndrome, right? Yeah, so I went through that. Okay, let's move on. Obstacles are part of life. You must flow like water. Learn to let go in order to flow with the situation. Beautiful. You see, in this one simple sutra, explain the syndrome. Okay, we'll come to please save the question. We'll come to it at the end. Here in this simple looking sutra, Master is giving us two very, very important teachings. Number one, he's saying flow like water. Why water? Why not something else? Because you see, water is unstoppable. Water will always create a path. It may go this way, it may go this way, it may go above, it may go below. It will find a way. In nature, water is unstoppable. So that is what Master is saying. When you learn to flow like water, you will be able to find solutions to the difficulties, to the problems, either like this, like this. So one aspect of that is flexibility. You cannot be hard-headed. समझ रहे हैं आप? ज्यादा rigid होंगे तो you will not flow like water. Right? Okay, the second, I think, teaching Master is giving us here is let go. This is a very, very deep thing. Please think about it. I will talk about it, but may I suggest later you please think about it. Let go is a part of every meditation, even twin arts, this, that. Somewhere Master says, let go. So let go. One aspect of letting go is to let go of the desire for the result, for the fruit. Just do the work properly as best as we can. In an as excellent way as possible. वो कर लीजिए and then let go of the result. Whatever will happen, we'll see. In the Gita, there is a part of a shlok, yogaha karmasu kaushalam, meaning that what is yoga? Yoga is doing work skillfully or with excellence. This, I think, is chapter 2, somewhere in chapter 2. It's around shlok number 50. Second aspect of letting go is, and this is the higher version, and again the Gita talks about it as Bhakti Yoga. You have to trust God, you have to trust the Guru, you have to trust the higher beings, you have to trust the lords of karma. I have done what I had to do, they will take care of the result. If I have entitlement, I will get the result I am looking for. If I don't get it, it means my entitlement is still not sufficient. Are you understanding? I hope you are understanding this. ये समझ में आया आपको कि लेटिंग गो का जो बहुत गहरा मीनिंग है वो ये है कि हम भरोसा रखें. अरहटिक योगा पिलर वन, व्हाट इज इट? डिवोशन. So this is what devotion is. Devotion is not just sitting and praying. Devotion means trust the higher beings, trust the laws of nature. Like law of karma is a law of nature. So usko trust कीजिए कि it will work. Just do whatever you have to do and forget about the result. Forget about, but don't be the desire for the result. Just let go. That is what you have to let go. Whatever happens, then you accept it. It's God's will. Oh, okay. I see that I have gone past the time.